Welcome back, everybody, to my YouTube channel. I'm excited to talk to you all today because I want to reignite the passion in my soul to engage in healing relationships. I'm very excited about my future. I'm going to be starting my psychiatric nurse practitioner program at the University of Alabama in May as a full-time student. But does that mean that I will be just doing that? Well, absolutely not. This mind is busy trying to create a holistic model, a model grounded not only in the reality of our biochemical, sort of physiological reality, but also the psyche, the soul, and of course, the relationships. So I am busy trying to understand, and I think I'm gaining a lot of momentum in understanding. I have clinical experience to reinforce my understanding. And I want to let you all know that I'm going to be pushing to keep moving forward so that hopefully I can express these underlying realities that really make a difference on our physical and mental health. Currently, we're lacking this integration of primary care with psychological care. And I believe the time has come for somebody to try to bring these together. So in the long term, what I'm hoping to do, at the very least, is help people have access to the fundamental pillars of mental and really physical health. The first pillar that I want to focus on in my work, because I'm oriented psychologically, is the pillar of secure attachment. We know, without a doubt, that most of what we consider psychopathology emerges out of all sorts of complex interactions between us and the environment. But we have developmental periods that are critical to the way the nervous system, that includes the autonomic nervous system, develops. And we really need to take very seriously the nature of our relationships during these critical periods of development. We have the attachment theory to back real clinical interventions that can really address these problems. And these problems can be understood as problems with memory as well as problems with learning. When we are unable to really engage in memory through coherent narrative, as well as what I think of as coherent morality as well, and difficulties with learning, we start to see the attachment patterns emerge. Interestingly, these are complex because we do have different attachment figures and different attachment experiences depending on our history, our culture, and our circumstances. But my belief is that we are resilient. We are built for one another. We are made of one another. God has made us with a relational foundation. I want to respect the foundation of every single client and patient that I take care of. I want to know who they are through that relating process. Pillar number 2 is built on the nature of the personality. So, of course, we're all a little different, but we inherit this genetic sort of tool for making sense of the world. Remember, we have to adapt to our early environment. We have to find secure attachment. Well, as adults, it's no different. What emerges out of nature is a structure of how to adapt. Really, there are 3 primary patterns that have become clearly elucidated to me with the ways that we adapt. The first pattern is a pattern of moving towards others through really this orientation of how can I be of use to others. This is a compliant pattern and psychological structure. Another pattern is moving against, which has to do with the need for really independence, for orienting towards the world in a way that actually makes us feel very strong and feel like our will is creating the world for us. And then, of course, the moving away pattern. The moving away pattern is associated with this feeling of being detached, right? So once we start to understand that we have an attachment base, we have an orientation towards the world, we really start to get a sense of how healing can take place. Now comes the medical. So we know that there's these complex interactions between the brain and the body. We have the gut microbiome as well that seems to communicate up into our limbic system of the brain, changes the structure of the nervous system. We have these complex interactions between early experience and the ways that the nervous system integrates as well as speaks to the body. So what we do for a medical intervention is we start with the body. We got to start thinking about the body, the brain and the body. The brain is the body. The brain is the extended nervous system throughout the body. See that? It's extending outwards. Everything we do with our body, see that, is very much interacting with our self-concept. It's all interconnected. So we start at the level of the body through promoting heart rate variability, self-regulation, by really understanding the autonomic nervous system, the way the autonomic nervous system is set up. This is a trauma-oriented model that respects the state regulation of the nervous system. So this is really it. So everything medical is going to be oriented towards how do we get back to a level where we can self-regulate again, where we can tolerate stress, tolerate uncertainty, tolerate infection, tolerate, cancer. See, the thing is we're dying, all right, as human beings. But the question is, do we have a will to live, and are we actually able to take the slings and arrows of life and continue to go? So that's really the holistic model. Those are the three pillars. I'm going to be expanding upon all of this in the future, and I'm really looking forward to trying to serve my future patients and be committed to doing what I know is right, which is supporting authentic relationship and psychological safety. And of course, the beauty that comes from all of those things, which is learning, creativity, social engagement, all the amazing things that make life worth living. All right, take care. Bye.